Hello, this is going to be a tarot reading for all the people who feel lost right now and have no idea what is the next step, how to proceed, why they feel, if you're somewhere in the darkness and you don't see a light in this tunnel, it means that this video was supposed to find you and guide you through it, okay? So let's see what the universe has to tell us. Sometimes it may seem like there is no light in the tunnel, but it can be just, turned off. Maybe there's some construction going on, maybe a power line was destroyed, but it's only temporary. Everything is temporary, life is temporary, so we also don't have to take everything so personally. And I will start with the 3 cards and will try to interpret them as best as I can. If I'm not able to interpret something, I will use Google because sometimes I am not sure what these cards mean. Alright? But this way you will all know that I'm not making this shit up, at least, yeah. Okay, what is the highest advice for the people who feel lost? Like they're in a deep, deep, dark asshole. There's no hope for the better future. Okay, what do we have here? Wow, okay. We got the 7 of Swords, the King of Wands, and the World card. It's actually pretty hopeful and beautiful. I will start with my intuitive feelings about this, because this is our advice, and I think that deep down we know what we have to do, so we don't need to use Google every time we are lost, but Google also sometimes has invalid information. Look at the 7 of Swords. This guy is taking some swords, leaving swords behind. He's making sure that, nobody sees him. He's just sneaking out in the night. He's pretty happy about it. He's like, actually I don't need to explain myself. I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to get the fuck out because I know that once I do that, I can finally become this King of Wands, proud, sitting on his throne, looking into the distance, like growing some leaves on this stick. He's accompanied by a little lizard, so he's not alone. And this guy understands that sometimes you have to act like a coward to become a king, and it may seem like a paradox, but actually sometimes it takes a lot of courage to be a coward, because when you are a coward, people think of you very negative things, like, and what this guy is like, he doesn't care what other people think, because right now he thinks about himself and he cares only what he thinks. This card may bring up some negative emotions in us, and we may think, I don't want to be this guy, I want to be a knight in a shining armor, I want to do everything properly, but sometimes when you feel that your boundaries have been crossed for too long, that the people you have been trying to convince about something are not listening, are not respectful, then actually, why do you still care what they think? Especially that, you know, this is just one moment. This is the first step. The first step may be very uncomfortable, but look how comfortable he is in here, you know, and you know, this is one uncomfortable step leading you to a much more comfortable place, and from this place you are ready to conquer the world. You can become whole, you can become autonomous, you can reach for the stars, you can reach your highest potential. You know, just for this couple of seconds of discomfort, you can reach a life of complete comfort and abundance. You know, I think it's worth it. But let's see what the Google has to tell us about the Seven of Swords. Lies, trickery, scheming, strategy, resourcefulness, sneakiness, cunning. The Seven of Swords in general is said to be about betrayal and deception. When you get this card, it may imply that you or someone else in your life is having difficulty getting away with something. There are instances when we are forced to be sneaky, hoping that we will not be discovered. When we are found out, we have to face the consequences, whether it's embarrassment, punishment, or worse. Sometimes this happens when there are instances when you had to think on your feet and did something that was somewhat shrewd and out of character. Now there is a danger of the secret coming out. You may be tempted to sneak away from somewhere, indicating a situation that is no longer working as expected, instead of dealing with it. If you choose to sneak away and hope that you will go unnoticed, perhaps you are hoping that this issue would just resolve itself over time, and you have neglected it, leaving it only to grow and get worse. The big question when looking at the Seven of Swords is whether escaping will solve this problem that you are facing. While you might be thinking that you have gotten away, you discover that the situation has cornered you and you are found out as you are trying to escape. There are instances when the Seven of Swords may indicate the willingness to go solo. You may have the urge to explore and discover some things on your own. This can be an effective approach if you want to assert your independence and bypass group agreement. The Seven of Swords symbolism may be encouraging you to go on this path. Sometimes innovation comes from a rogue genius. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I was right. Just the website is like much better in English. Okay, so the first step, we sneak out, we go solo, we go for our own adventure, and we don't give a shit anymore about what people will be speaking about, because, you know, if people have this tendency to criticize you and belittle you and so on, it means that they have it inside of them and they are not able to see a bigger picture. And to that I say, yeah. So, the first step, we sneak out in the middle of the night. Next step, the proud King of Wands. See, leadership, vision, big picture, taking control, daring decisions, boldness, and optimism. The meaning of the upright position of the King of Wands represents pure energy. Unlike the other Wands cards in the deck, however, this particular one is not focused on pure creativity. Instead, this king is actually way more likely to take an idea and to decisively implement it himself. The King of Wands is a natural born leader of people and he is also extremely capable. Once the king sets for himself a certain aim or a goal, he is going to conveniently stick to it in order to ensure that it becomes a reality. I don't think there is much more to add. You know, you go solo, you see the bigger picture, you don't care about the small pictures, and you focus on what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, and you stay optimistic. This is very important and also very hard. But this leads us to the highest card in the whole arcana, the major of majorities, you know? But let's read about it to get a clear picture. Keywords: completion, achievement, fulfillment, sense of belonging, wholeness, harmony. To encounter the world in your cards is to encounter a great unity and wholeness. It symbolizes the moment when the inner and the outer world, self and other, become a single entity. In some traditions, this state is described as enlightenment or nirvana. There is a recognition that the individual self is profoundly linked with all the things and that we all dance and sway along the flow of life to one rhythm. Not only you hear this rhythm, but you participate in it, following the dips and the rises, the joys and the sorrows. The meaning of the word card is fulfillment, achievement and completion. This shows that all the efforts that you have been putting in place are starting to pay off. It reflects that you have completed a major milestone in your life and you have built the resilience to withstand challenges. The word may indicate completion or a long-term project, study or any other major event in your life. It may also mean the birth of a child, marriage, graduation, or any other thing that you have accomplished. The word card shows you that you have a desire to give back to the community in various ways. You have a commitment to make the world a better place because you understand that everything is connected. And you see how it works. You have to be a selfish coward or a selfish, person for a little bit and just follow your gut for a while, not caring what other people think, in order to be able to give back to the community later. Because when you are not sure of yourself, you're letting other people tell you what to do, you're not really able to give back because you don't have much to give, and you're giving just to feel better about yourself, just to protect yourself from negative opinions. You're actually, in this state, you're truly giving only to yourself. You're not helping anybody. You're not able to help anybody. And we are able to help them only if we went through this discomfort, if we went through this darkness, if we found this light, we waited until the power lines were fixed, and we got out the other end of the tunnel, and we know the whole way to this unity and wholeness and completion. And from this place, we can become really, really crucial and important and, all the positive words that can come to mind, parts of our community. So I think this is what we should keep in mind right now. This is only one uncomfortable step that will last a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes. But after that, right after that, we start to feel good about ourselves. We start to value ourselves. We start to value our lives, and only this way and only thanks to that we can start sharing this joy and sharing our lessons and helping others in a proper way, not people pleasing, not being too nice, but being there for them. But first, we need to be there for ourselves. I think it was a very hopeful reading. I hope it was hopeful for you too. See you next time.